Is Delray Beach safe? My customers ask me this all the time, so I wanted to find out exactly what's out there. I was shocked. Join me today as I uncover what I found. It's J-Dub, MrDowntownDelray with EXP Realty here in Delray Beach, Florida. If this is your first time to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, hit that button so you're notified every time a new video drops. Folks like you are contacting me all the time. If that's you, please go ahead and send me a text, call me, drop me an email. Today we're going to be talking about crime. That's right, violent crime, theft, property crime, burglary, arson, all that stuff. Why? Because when you're looking about information on the internet about Delray Beach, the topic comes up. So today I did a deep dive, and what I found is shocking. I'm going to give you all sorts of information, and at the end I'm going to give you a local's perspective of what I think about it. We're going to take a look at that right now. For this video, I canvassed the internet like crazy. I did a deep dive, and you know what I found? I was shocked. Delray Beach almost flunks. That's right. If a teacher was grading this thing, they almost gave it an F, as you're going to see in a few minutes. But you know what? In doing this research, I saw so much conflicting data. I'm going to show that to you in just a second. So if you're at home on your sofa and you're researching crime in Delray Beach, you'll probably type in things like my headline, is Delray Beach safe? Or Delray Beach crime? Or Delray Beach safety? Things like that. And what you'll find are a bunch of different websites. Some are reputable, some are just rambling on about different data, but two of them come up pretty prominently. One is Crime Grade and the other is Neighborhood Scout. And what we're going to do is take a look at first is Crime Grade and take a look at their heat maps and dig into some of this information. So here is the Crime Grade heat map. Down below I have the website for you to take a look at it so you can click and grab it yourself. This heat map basically shows violent crime, property crime, and it gives an overall crime rating that you'll see in just a second. Where the text shows Delray Beach, that is right on top of Atlantic Avenue. That's our downtown area. That's near the beach and east of I-95. Basically from I-95 east to the ocean is about a 1.5 mile stretch. And as you can see, it's mostly color-coded with greens and oranges. That means crime, for the most part, is relatively low. It's not until you go about 3 to 5 miles out west where you start to see reds and the map's starting to look darker. Red means there's a lot of crime. But out west, it's interesting. That's where you have most of the retirement communities, country clubs, golf courses, and gated communities. Doesn't that kind of seem a little odd? Why would there be so much crime out west in these gated communities of Delray Beach where there's protection and security? And this map shows that that's where a lot of the crime is. Yet in downtown, where it's restaurants, commercial activity, lots of construction, where all the tourism is, you get opposite. You get greens and oranges. Kind of makes you say, So based on this data from Crime Grade, Delray Beach gets a low score. Take a look at this, D+. It almost flunked. That is horrible. But you know what? It's not accurate. And imagine if you're just sitting on your sofa and you looked at this map only and got shocked and said, oh my God, I'm not moving to Delray Beach, and you based your decision on just this one heat map and what you just saw, you would probably want to move to the east of I-95, which is not bad, but based on this map, it says that crime is low. And you would think of yourself, you would steer clear of communities out west. Well, as you're going to take a look at now, things changed, and here's where the conflicting information exists. And speaking of east of I-95, last year I did a couple of neighborhood tour videos that you can check out up here, looking at the West Settlers District. It's an up-and-coming area. It's in between Swinton and I-95. It's where a lot of commercial activity is going on, a lot of redevelopment, a lot of investor stuff is going on, and over the next couple of years, there's going to be some big projects happening. You may want to take a look at those, and when you do, leave me a couple comments. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Now, let's put some context around what Crime Grade actually says. As you can see here, is Delray Beach, Florida safe? The D grade means the rate of crime is higher than the average U.S. city. Delray Beach is in the 29th percentile for safety, meaning 71% of cities are safer and 29% of cities are more dangerous. This analysis applies to Delray Beach's proper boundaries only. So you're canvassing the internet and you keep going, and next website you come up on is Neighborhood Scout. Let's take a look at what they say. Now, as you're going to take a look at this map here from Neighborhood Scout, this is where data becomes a little conflicted. It's where you become more confused, and it's where I became shocked. Take a look at this. At the bottom of this Neighborhood Scout heat map, darker blue means higher crime, lighter blue means less crime. Well, this is 180-degree opposite from what crime grade reports. On this map, it says darker blue colors are east of I-95, while lighter blue colors are west. So that's saying that out west, there's no crime, and east of I-95, there's higher crime. But in the earlier heat map from crime grade, it showed just the opposite, that out west, where the golf courses and the country clubs are, that's where the higher crime is. So if you're sitting on your couch, never been to Delray Beach, you're already scratching your head saying, this makes absolutely no sense. This is upside down reporting. This is just not accurate. So what's the real story here? So let me give you my two local cents here that might shed some light on the data we just saw. So basically downtown Delray, the heart of Delray, is east of I-95. This is an area which has been, the draw for tourism, and it's been the popular spot. Over the last dozen years, this is where restaurants on Atlantic Avenue have popped up. This is where all the tourism takes place. It's close to the beach. There has been hotel development, condominium development, apartments, townhomes, just a lot of stuff happening between Swinton and the beach. Over the last dozen years, been a lot of activity for commercial development. So I can understand why Neighborhood Scout gives this area a darker blue, which means higher crime, because it's a mixture of residential and commercial and tourism and activity and cars. So that's kind of what makes up the Neighborhood Scout thing. But also in downtown, that's where over the last couple of decades, we've had a lot of rehabilitation facilities, rehab for drugs, pop up over the last couple dozen years. That has raised crime as well. But the more development that's going on in Delray Beach, that is also displacing some of these rehab areas for new construction to take place. So over time, which we don't see in the heat maps, is a lot of the crime and things have been dispersed, moving to different areas, and ultimately I think over the next couple of years, these heat maps and the data sources are going to see crime being reduced in this area. Now let's take a look at the last chart, which is an absolute shocker. In this chart, also from crime grade, it shows the communities of Gulfstream, Highland Beach, Boynton Beach, Briny Breezes, Ocean Ridge, and Boca Raton, to name some of them. Look at their scores. There's nothing higher than a C+. And these are communities that are well respected. I mean, there's some that are better than the others, but some of them are luxury markets, high-end markets. I'm absolutely flabbergasted by what I see. I mean, this is the part that shocked me. In my opinion, this data and reporting is somehow misleading. I mean, these areas are affluent, have good schools, and regularly stay out of the limelight and news. So for me, being a local person looking at C pluses and Cs, I'm telling you, something is amiss here. So let me just share a couple local thoughts I think are important. Number one is Delray Beach has had a long history of drug rehab facilities, or they call halfway homes. And you know what? Yeah, with those is a lot of people who are cleaning up their lives from drugs. It brings a bad element. But as I mentioned and shared, that has been cleaning up over the last, let's say, 6 or 7 years. It's being dispersed by new development. There's new tourism, there's new activities going on in Delray Beach that is basically taking the old and replacing it with the new. So that's pretty good news as we move forward. The next thing is, no matter if you live in Delray Beach or Thousand Oaks, California, or Santa Ana or Costa Rica, where you live and how you live also brings these elements. So if you're living a good life and steering clear from those areas, I don't care where you live, you can go down bad roads or you can stay in good roads. It's just being local and understanding what markets and where you want to spend most of your time in your community. And lastly, we lived here for 6 years. So my wife and daughter and I have one thing to say for everybody. We've lived a crime-free, void of any issues. We've lived a very peaceful life here in Delray since 2015. And that says a lot. So coming from my wife, daughter, and I asked both of them before doing this video, what grade would you give our 6 years of experience here with Delray Beach and crime? We all give this a B++. Delray Beach is fabulous. You're going to absolutely love living here. Stay away from the areas. And you know what? When you're doing research about crime in these areas, any place you're looking at, stay away from websites that are diametrically opposed to each other. I mean, 180-degree difference. You need to speak with someone local. Maybe this video and speaking with me directly will help. You know how to get a hold of me. Go ahead and send me a text, call me, drop me an email. I'll get back to you right away with our thoughts. But get local, learn the information, and maybe this video does help. Take a look at this video again. It might be very resourceful for you. So if you're thinking about moving to or living in Delray Beach, please let me navigate this with you. Let me show you all about our crime and safety issues so that you feel comfortable just like my family does. And if you found this video of value, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that button. It's going to help me a lot with my business. And also share with your friends. Give me some comments. Let me know your thoughts. And ultimately, text me, call me, or drop me an email. I'd be happy to work with you. Until next time.